Most emotion I've seen out of Wei Yi all week. There you go. Thinking pose. The fact that he moved.
Seismic.
Yeah, he's 99 stoic instead of 100 stoic at the moment, but he really is in a lot of trouble right now, and he needs to think of a resource to climb his way out.
And the heart rate agrees with you. I mean, that's 130 right there for Wei Yi, so he's feeling the nerves currently. Hikaru keeps putting pressure. You know, he hit the bishop in the last move, doubled up on the D line. Now he's getting the bishop to 8-6 to attack f4. It provokes Wei Yi to push the G pawn to defend it, but that's going to make the light square so incredibly weak around the white king.
Oh, needs must though, and most likely Wei Yi will push that pawn forward. Hikaru was shaking his head. It was slightly confusing because his position is so good right now, but maybe just frustrated that there's no immediate knockout, but long term looking very good. And normally I talk about connect 4, but white's pawn structure less impressive this time. All on dart squares, a bishop blocked on dart squares, and the white king not going to be safe long term.
And you know, for most of us, it might feel like, hey, the material's balanced. You've got 5 pawns versus 5 pawns. You know, the pieces are still playing for white as well, threatening now to double up on the C line. Why is this so good? But it's not all that meets the eye. You've got the bishop pair. You've got the C pawn that'll eventually move up the board. For Hikaru, this is a dream position, one that he can really grind down and enjoy for the next 30 moves.
The light squares just look so dangerous right now, and maybe that was part of the motivation behind playing the rook up to e3, because the moment white moves the knight, you have potential check on f3, followed by maybe the other rook coming into the 6th. Who knows what would happen in that sort of situation? So it feels like Wei Yi is surviving, but is extremely tied down right now and needs options, but he's not finding any.
This feels like the type of position you save like 10% of the time for Wei Yi. Maybe if Hikaru doesn't find a way forward, something concrete, then you survive, and maybe trick your way to a draw later, but you very rarely win these types of positions. Hikaru, a bit of a frown, maybe surprised by this last turn. He's trying to get the other bishop in, the raking bishop pair, threatening a nasty check.
That's very instructive. You know, you're constantly looking for more active diagonals for your pieces. First, he provoked white to push the G pawn, activating the light squared bishop. Then he rerouted the bishop to a square where he can give it check. And again, it could be potentially a mating attack against the white king with both the rooks still on the board.
And it's one of those things where, look, Hikaru Nakamura, it's becoming almost easier for him to play because Wei Yi is creating those weaknesses that makes it easier for him to make these follow-up moves. And in a format like this where both players have 3 minutes on the clock, that's huge.
Yeah, Wei Yi shaking his head loads. He knows that he might be on the brink of elimination here. He drops back his rook. He's not the type of player who's going to sit still and wait for his fate to hit him. He's going to try and push pawns, as you mentioned, creating weaknesses in the process, but the black bishop's coming in. The black rooks have infiltrated. The other one's coming in too. Maybe to the 3rd rank, first to check. This looks devastating.
Don't move up to e3, that would be a checkmate in one. King e3 would have run into rook d3, so he blocks the check with the knight retreating right now. It's time anyway to bring that rook in, combine it with the power of that unchallenged light squared bishop, giving some big checks. White's king, surprisingly, in this queenless middle game, is in a kill zone.
We saw on the left of our screens there, Hikaru was about to make that move. He kind of took it back, showing some indecision. The clock may be Wei Yi's best friend right now. He's up 10 seconds. It doesn't sound like much, but it is that desperate on the board. He can barely move a single piece with white. Huge threat on the board. He needs to prevent the black rook sliding across with a check. He needs to offer a trade. But Hikaru looking locked in here.
His spidey senses are tingling as he does move around his finger. He's calculating the lines. This is classic Hikaru Nakamura. He's thinking, hey, Chad, I got this. Take. This is how I'm going to finish this. And look at this beautiful calculation there. Sacrifices a rook temporarily to pick up that H2 pawn, to pick up Wei Yi's rook with interest on the next move.
Meme-worthy, you might call it, as he was pointing to moves with his fingers there. But that is a brilliant move, as indicated by our computer. Double exclam, because this pawn is guaranteed to drop. And skewer, yes, it's just going to be a pawn in the process, but that's a very important pawn. The defenses are slowly being broken. Wei Yi now losing his time advantage, losing pawns, losing hope.
When Hikaru starts bobbing his head like that and grooving to whatever is going on in his mind, you know it's bad news. He gives a check and another check. Hikaru Nakamura has calculated his way through. There's no way for the white king to stay connected to the white rook. He's about to win the rook back. He's won the pawn back. Hikaru Nakamura is about to go to the quarterfinals.
Now, it's not just a pawn he's won, he's about to give checkmate potentially if the White King missteps now. The White King has to go forward. You have to hope that you survive on the hill there in the middle of the board. Oh, but look at the white pieces, so stretched, so defensive, tied down, no light squared control. And Hikaru here just needs to put the finishing touches on.
This game is going to go down in every single book as how to play with the bishop pair. Every single chapter will have this one on display. What a power pack performance. Just finding those diagonals for the two minor pieces, and finally that pass pawn starts rolling up the board.
There's no moves for white, nothing to do. You can try to create a passed pawn, but the black bishop's only going to slide back and conquer your rook. That rook will be overwhelmed and lost. Wei Yi, he might be hitting the resign button soon. No, he walks further forward with his king. If he's going to go down, he's going to go down swinging with that king.
But there are no entry squares. The e7 point controlled by the black bishop. You know, you might just be too brave to go there, but that might end badly. Checkmating ideas still to always watch out for with the two bishops. Will Hikaru Nakamura give a check immediately? Will he make his rook a better piece right now? Start targeting the f4 pawn, which has been left undefended. But the clock situation, under 2 minutes, David, I don't think Wei is resigning. He's going to play this out till the end. He's going to try to make that miracle happen on the clock.
Hikaru is overthinking somewhat. A couple of darts of the eye to the clock. Looking a bit frustrated. Not in his free-flowing best, although he was looking confident a few moments ago. He's tanked. Look at that shake of the head. He knows he's frozen. He just needs to make a move. Everything is good. He attacks the knight. He's going to win some pawns. Even more pawns. This is good enough, but should have been better. Played 20 seconds ago.
Strong move, strong decision finally there by Hikaru. Took a while to get there, but he did get there. The bishop moves into a very passive spot, defending the knight. Hikaru really tying the white king to d5. One check and it could be over.
There's only one safe square for that white king to retreat to. Maybe now is the moment before it is too late, before you do get checkmated. White knight wants to enter the middle of the board, but cannot safely. This is so difficult to find a move for Wei Yi. He pushes a pawn, desperation. The rook is hit, as we predicted earlier. Not many safe squares for that piece.
And always watch out for the other bishop sliding back, giving some checks. That rook needs to stay connected to certain other pieces. Whoa! A piece sacrificed there, but it could not have been picked up. The white pawn would have advanced one step forward, not allowing the black to defend against promotion. Hikaru simply recaptures.
He did not even calculate. That was impressive, Hikaru. He didn't want to allow any counterplay. The white rook saves itself. But now there is a hint. There is a small hope, glimmer here for Wei Yi with his e-pawn. Might be snuffed out though, this last move. Very effective. He's chasing the white bishop, repeating the position, Hikaru.
He can't do it. This is a huge advantage for him. He's up a pawn. He's up on the clock. Hikaru cannot bail out right now. He does continue playing. He believes in it.
Hits the white knight, but that white knight is defended. The king is the MVP for Wei Yi. It's not over yet. Look at the king marching. The e-pawn moving. Hikaru's panicking here.
It's setting in. That head shake, very different from the head bob we saw a few seconds ago.
The advantage is slowly starting to fade. Yes, that was a little trade of pawns. Yes, black's still up one pawn, but there is counterplay. The e-pawn is running. The black rook is just so offside right now.
Ignore the evaluation bar right now. This is a game for 3 results, and now the clock is leveling out as well. Look at Hikaru's face and you get to know the full story. It's the e-pawn, it's the threats of the white king. This is far from over. Hikaru cannot believe it. He's saying, move, move, move.
He's cursing himself, Hikaru. Look at the heart rates as well, both rising. Wei Yi is so excited because this is the closest he's been to saving this game in ages.
Hikaru's literally willing himself to make a move. He gives a check, but this is sort of putting the snooze here because the white king doesn't have too many squares.
Can he checkmate the white king? There's a double attack though, hitting the white knight and bishop. The knight gives up its life, but wow, he's plundered Hikaru. He's lost his bishop. Hikaru Nakamura is losing and he has no time.
He can't believe it, and he's under 20 seconds.
Wow,
He completely had this.
So close. Eval Bar says draw, but white has the pawn, white has the moves and the time.
And very cool as a cucumber throughout the roller coaster.
We might see rook and bishop versus rook, the hardest endgame to defend.
With 10 seconds, not possible to defend.
And Hikaru, he actually blundered there. There could have been a rook trade, but Wei Yi is just playing for the clock.
And that's all he got to do. Look at Wei Yi, slowly, steadily moving towards the screen. He just needs to make sure he keeps the pressure on the clock.
Hikaru here pre-moving desperately. Wei Yi's messed up some stuff there. He's about to lose his bishop. It's all about the clock though. 2 seconds versus 3 seconds.
The pawn comes in. Oh my goodness. Wei Yi's about to get flagged.
He gets Hikaru's rook. Wei Yi cannot lose, and it's a draw. Wei Yi times out. Hikaru saves himself.
Absolutely ridiculous end to that game. A winning panic in a winning position. The eval bar, the position. Forget that. The psychological warfare swinging between both players multiple times. There are many people who would say after that roller coaster ride, maybe a draw was the deserved result, but both players will be ruining missed chances in that game. Wow.
Both deserve to win, neither deserves to lose. That was a roller coaster, one of the most dramatic finishes that I've ever seen. Wei Yi with all the material advantage, a rook up, a queen up, but not enough time, gets flagged, and this was the crazy endgame. Hikaru Nakamura reacting there, up the entire time, so close to winning, and David, then quickly it just slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, banging his head, Hikaru Nakamura. 3-4 minutes earlier, he was bobbing his head, knowing he was about to win. Still reacting here, still so frustrated, Hikaru. He used his clock skills to save himself. Wei Yi might feel like he should have banked it there, but ultimately, we go down to Armageddon. Hikaru not yet eliminated.